Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the book Refuge and welcome to another recommendations video. And today we're going to be doing retellings, romance retellings of fairy tales, myths, or other stories. You'll see there's a variety. We're going to do retellings. I've only done one video that was a retelling recommendation and it was a couple of years ago. I'll try to remember to link that up above. So I thought I would do this. I wanted to share some that were maybe a little unconventional, but there are going to be some that, you know, you're probably expecting to be in this video because, well, I'm probably holding it up in the thumbnail, so that's why. But also because they're ones that many people know about, but I hope I have some that might surprise you, or maybe you didn't know that they were retellings or such like that. So let's go ahead and dive right in so that this isn't horribly long. And of course, you know, we can't have a retelling recommendations without a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So for this one, I present to you To Beguile a Beast by Elizabeth Hoyt. Elizabeth Hoyt was one of my favorite authors I discovered in 2021. Here's the step back for this beautiful one. This has our reclusive Sir Alistair Munro, who's hidden away in his castle after being scarred and injured in the colonies. There is a legendary beauty named Helen Fitzwilliam who gets kind of urged to go to Sir Alistair's castle to be his housekeeper, and she brings along with her 2 children. He's not very welcoming to her being his housekeeper, but she is a woman, number one, who is desperate. She has some very painful things happening in her life. She has some secrets from her past that have made her desperate, and so she's going to prove her worth to Sir Alistair and prove that she is meant to be there, and things get a little bit spicy as they do. This is definitely a grumpy sunshine. This is a scarred hero. There is trauma in his past as well. There's some PTSD. And there also is trigger warning for a kind of domestic abuse type situation as well. So love all of Elizabeth Hoyt's books, but this was one of the first ones that I read. It convinced me to take a risk on the Maiden Lane books, so I will forever be grateful to this one. And then I have another historical for you, and that is A Rogue by Any Other Name by Sarah MacLean. This is the first book in The Rules of Scoundrels, I think, is the series. And our heroine knew the hero when they were children, and he has been kind of like, I believe he was like betrayed by her family. But either way, in the beginning of this book, he kind of tricks her into a marriage of like he makes sure she's ruined, so she has to marry him, and it's for his revenge plot, but he doesn't plan to like consummate the marriage. However, he happens to be a partner in this like underground gambling club, and now she has access to it by being his wife. And you know, so it's kind of supposed to be, yeah, like a Hades and Persephone retelling, where they are, you know, he's the king of this underworld and she's kind of this like innocent woman who's entering into it. I don't know. This one is like listed as a retelling. I kind of see it. I know that Sarah MacLean kind of meant for those tones to be in there. And this wasn't my favorite one in this series, but it was an interesting take, and I really do like the underground world that we were dealing with, and the characters that we meet are quite interesting. Then I have another Hades and Persephone retelling that I might as well show you. This is one that's been getting a lot of sharing right now because this was a comic on Webtoons, so you can actually go and read this all for free if you'd like, but I got the special edition bind up from Barnes & Noble. It is absolutely beautiful. This one has the first 25 episodes, I believe. The art is phenomenal. Like, it is beautiful, and I have a feeling that once you read these first 25, you will want to get on Webtoons and get caught up because it's epic. But this is a pretty, like, you know, obvious Hades and Persephone retelling. Like, they're called Hades and Persephone, and it ends up being his like an intern to the underworld. And yeah, it's very interesting. It is a slow burn, I just want to warn you, and not really any sex. Any trigger warnings that there are shared at the beginning of each episode if there will be them. But this is probably one of the cleanest things that I've read in recent years and still enjoyed so much. And I know some people don't need things to be as sexy as I do, so I highly recommend that if you're looking for a good retelling that you finally give this one a go, because it is absolutely wonderful. Like, I read this when I had a sick day. I bought the book when it finally came out, And between the hours of noon and midnight, I read all the other episodes on Webtoons. It was epic. It was wonderful. All right, now we have a couple dark ones to share. So first I have the Cinderella series by Webster. This is a trilogy. This is the trilogy that actually started off the Midnight Dynasty. So I actually read Stroke of Midnight before I even knew that this was going to be like a thing. Like, I didn't even know what was happening with the Midnight Dynasty. This publishing, it's the Dangerous Press is who does this, and this world includes books by Jade West, Gianna Darling, Pam Godwin, Amelia Wilde. They all have books within this world, so definitely check out their Instagram or their website to learn more. But this is a Cinderella retelling. This is about our heroine whose name is, what's her name? Literally forgot what it is. Just tell me what it is. I hate when books do that, when it's like from their point of view. I think her name is Ash. And she starts out this book as being his like cleaning girl, and he ends up making kind of a sex deal with her. Their relationship includes like degradation, humiliation. He will pay her to do kind of like embarrassing things for him, pay her to like jerk off in her underwear and like send it to him. But it's still like the way he falls for her is really cute. And this was a fun, spicy trilogy. Webster's not afraid to do it. But yeah, this is the Cinderella retelling. And then I actually have a Poseidon retelling, which is kind of cool. This is by Amelia Wilde. The first one is called The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea, and this is something that I hate. Why do authors do this? So look, shiny cover, and then the next one is matte, and then the third one is matte. So that's frustrating to me. But this first one here, The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea, I've said this quite a few times. This reminded me a lot of Sea of Ruin, just in kind of the way that the hero like treated the heroine. But we have Poseidon, who is a modern day pirate, and yes, like Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon are three brothers in this world, and they each actually have their own trilogy. So if you want to check those out, you can. Those are also retellings. But yeah, this one, Poseidon, he ends up rescuing this girl. I think her name is Ashley. Yes, her name is Ashley. He ends up rescuing her, but he discovers that she's an heiress, and since he's a pirate, he decides to ransom her to her father. Well, it turns out her father is involved with some things that are a little bit nastier than we suspected, and it won't be so easy to just ransom this girl and get her off his hands. This involves some dubious consent and non-consensual things. This is a big age gap. There is some violence and sexual assault situations that happen in here. Some of the non-consensual stuff is on the part of the hero, but the actual like, well, they're both sexual assault. Non-consent is a sexual assault, but if you read dark romance, you know what I mean. Like, there's a difference between kind of like the dubious consent from the hero and when there is like sexual assault that happens to the heroine by like other people, not him. But I really love this trilogy. The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea, I really, really love that book when I read it. So definitely check out the Poseidon trilogy if you're interested. Then we have one that's a lot more fun. We have Love in the Wild by Emma Castle. This was the first book I read by Emma Castle, and I have grown to love her books so much. This is a Tarzan retelling. This is a book I read, I think, back in 2020. But this is kind of a straightforward retelling but like set in modern times. And our hero's name is Thorn, and him and his family had went to do like, I believe they went to do like conservation work in Africa, and they ended up being murdered by poachers and the militia there, and somehow he survived and was raised by the apes there. Fast forward 20 years, he was actually the lost son of like a duke. And our heroine is a photographer, and so she goes with a group who's going to be touring the area so she can take photos, and they also get attacked by poachers, and she gets rescued by Thorn, and this is their romance. And if you listen to the audiobook, it is narrated by Shane East, and it is delightful, so definitely check that out. Then I have The Last Boss's Daughter by Sam Mariano. This is a mafia Snow White retelling. So our heroine is the, I think she's a stepdaughter of a mafia guy, and they want to kind of, they want to like get her killed off. So the new capo, I think, I could be making this up a little bit, but I know the new capo, basically he sends a hitman after her. So it's that kind of thing, like a hitman gets sent off of her. So it's like Snow White and the Huntsman, right? And he ends up not being able to kill her. And in Sam Mariano fashion, he maybe, you know, wants some sexual favors for not killing her. But this definitely would work for a dark Snow White retelling if you were interested. And then the last one I want to mention, which is a upcoming release, I believe will be about to come out whenever this video goes up, or has come out, I'm not sure, but that would be Electric Idol by Katee Robert. I am extremely excited for everyone to read this. I was lucky enough to read an arc of this, but I read the arc of this book like back in July. So I really had to kind of sit on my feelings for quite a while, waiting for everybody else to get the chance to read this. So it has happened. People have a chance to read this. I'm extremely excited about it. This is a retelling of Eros and Psyche. Psyche is a plus size like influencer. If you read Neon Gods, you kind of know the setup of this. She is actually Persephone's sister, and her mother's like machinations move to her when we, you know, when what happens with Persephone happens in that one. And she ends up kind of stepping on Aphrodite's toe. It's Aphrodite, right? Yeah, Aphrodite's toes. Is it Aphrodite? Yes, because Eros is Aphrodite's son. Man, I'm so sorry if I'm fucking up that explanation. But either way, Eros, he gets sent to kill her, and she had been actually nice to him on an occasion. And because she was nice to him, everyone looks at Eros as literally his mom's hitman and favored child because he's beautiful, right? Like Eros, that the alternate name is Cupid for Eros, you know? And he is sent to kill Psyche, and he can't do it. So instead, he's like, well, the only way my mother can't make me kill you is if I marry you. So that's his, that's how he rationalizes that. He's like, oh, well, you marry me and then my mom can't make me kill you. So this is a marriage of convenience to save Psyche's life. And then it's, of course, well, how about we sleep together because we're married? So why not do it? And there's some very sexy, sexy times in this. I feel like Katee Robert writes plus size heroines so well. It is not their entire identity. Of course, they have some insecurities, but why would Psyche have tons of insecurities that just like ruin everything? You know, like that is something that we have those, women have those, but the way Katee Robert writes it, I'm able to just appreciate what a great like character Psyche is, who is also plus size. Like plus size isn't her entire identity, which is important to me. So there you go. Those are some retellings for you. Of course, there's more in the other video I did. There's also a lot more that are like Beauty and the Beast retellings and Hades and Persephone retellings. I feel like those are some of the most popular because they're also like Beauty and the Beast like is a retelling of Hades and Persephone to a certain degree. So it's like, I just don't want to recommend those ones over and over again that people are maybe used to seeing. So I hope that there was some you didn't know about. Let me know some of your favorite retellings. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.